let's get started. So nice to see everyone and welcome back to Weekend Mindful Yoga. And as I mentioned, I'm also going to teach tomorrow. So if anyone wants to join me tomorrow morning live, I will be here at the same time. And for today, I thought we would explore all the yoga that feels good with the intention of releasing all those positive and healing neurochemicals for me and for all of you. And acknowledging and appreciating all the things that our bodies can do that work well, that feel good, and strengthening and enjoying those. And so finding a seat, finding your sit bones, connecting the deep roots into the earth underneath you, feeling stable and safe and secure. And tilting your pelvic bowl anteriorly and align your spine all the way up towards the sky. Rest your hands lightly on your thighs and come back to the breath. Deep inhales and long, smooth exhales. Another big, deep, long, even, smooth inhale. And a big exhale. Bathing every cell with oxygen, healing, and kindness. Every nook and cranny, sending the breath all the way to the fingertips, all the way to the toes. And exhale, release, letting go of whatever doesn't need to be joining you this morning. Perhaps tension, stress, worry, frustration. Breathing once again in through your nose, bathing every nook and cranny with things that feel good. Deliciousness, oxygen, care, attention. And exhale, let it out. And if it feels good, you can close your eyes. Allowing yourself to come back into your body, taking away some of the distractions, bringing mind and body into the same spot. And noticing how you feel when you do that, the calm that ensues when the mind and the body settle in, all in your body, together, all in one place for this next hour. Noticing the calm and the peace that comes when we do that. That's the power of mind-body medicine, as we call it. And yoga is a form of mind-body medicine. And bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. Using this kindness to self as another form of medicine, preventive care even. Circulating that oxytocin, which feels good, all around. You can envision it bathing every cell, every bit of DNA, every nook and cranny with that feel-good hormone. And the skin to skin of the top hand on the bottom hand, noticing how that feels. And I like to envision the cortisol decreasing as you feel good. Breathing in and out slowly in through your nose and out through your mouth. And taking a moment to attend to your heart. Where you put your attention is what you experience. So giving that heart some attention. Checking in, seeing what it needs. Appreciating it for all that it does. And notice if there's tension there or hurt there. And just sending it good wishes and kindness. Not ignoring it, but just letting it be for now. Nothing to do, nothing to fix. It's okay to relax and enjoy for this next bit of time. And notice on the inhale, your chest rise. And fall on the exhale. All the parts of your body working in magical concert. Breathing in once again. All that physiology impressively taking good care of you. And exhale, let it out. We spend so much time noticing where the physiology doesn't work, but taking time to notice all the amazing things that do work that feel good, that we can enjoy. And allowing ourselves to enjoy them, knowing that that actually brings our body better health. Breathing in once again, bathing yourself with oxygen. Every nook and cranny, sending it to the heart space, behind the heart, into your belly. And exhale. And notice for a moment if there's a spot that needs that oxygen. Maybe it's a lump in your throat, a hollowness somewhere, an achiness, and just sit there with kindness. Realizing that that's just attention needed, sending the breath, softening the tightness on the exhale. And pause and enjoy for a minute how you feel. Perhaps wiggle fingers and toes lightly. And we'll bring our hands to heart center, rubbing them together, enjoying that skin to skin. Bring your thumbs to your sternum and the finger pads towards the sky, pressing those thumbs into the sternum, connecting with your heart space still. And setting your own intention this morning, setting an intention around something to allow yourself to feel good, to be in this moment, to enjoy it, to appreciate. Whatever aligns with you on that theme. If there's something you want to appreciate, if you want to let yourself enjoy in spite of something, whatever's going on, focus on that feeling good. Allowing yourself this time, this respite, to feel good and enjoy. Breathing in to seal it in, and exhale, let it out. And we'll lower our hands and open our eyes. Bring your hands to your sides and just wiggle your fingers loosely. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Drop your occiput into the shoulders, squeezing tight. And exhale, let it go. And notice how you feel. A moment here to enjoy all the things that feel good. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky, reaching those fingertips tall as you can. Lengthen the side body and enjoy that stretch. Shimmy your elbows and fingertips as tall as you can. Huge deep breath. Wiggle your fingers. Exhale, drop your shoulders. Inhale, reach tall once again. Exhale, drop your right hand towards the floor, spreading your fingers wide, equal pie shapes. Connect the palm to the floor, bend your right elbow, and lengthen the whole left side. Enjoying every nook and cranny as it pops open, sending it breath. Exhale, let it out. Inhale, bathing every tight spot. If it's okay for your neck, gaze over the left shoulder on the exhale. Press into your right hand, reaching up towards the sky. Exhale, drop your shoulders. Inhale, reach tall, lengthen the side bodies. Enjoy it. Wiggle your fingers, shimmy, shimmy. Exhale, drop that left hand. Spread your fingers wide. Stretch the whole right side body. Enjoy every tiny nook and cranny as it opens up here. Bend that left elbow to get a little bit more opening. Huge breath in, pouring it into all of those tight spots that are asking for attention. Root the right hip down as you stretch the right hand towards the left. Exhale, if it's okay for your shoulder, gaze over the right shoulder, or your neck, sorry. One more breath here. No scarcity of breath or stretch, filling every nook and cranny, letting your body feel good. Exhale, gaze a little farther over that right shoulder. Notice that tiny little movement, subtle, significant, can make a big difference. Pressing into the left hand, bringing both arms up. Extend both arms towards the side, flex your wrists, palms will reach into the side walls, and pinch your scapula together, enjoying the tension and the release. Once again, squeeze the scapula together, tight, tight, tight. Enjoy the tension. It has a purpose. And exhale, release. Wrap your arms in front, right arm under left, elbow to elbow. You'll face your palms towards the back, coming into eagle arms, which I love. That's why we're doing all the poses that feel good to me today. So hopefully they feel good to you. Bring your elbows up to shoulder height and enjoy the spot between your scapula. Come back to the breath. Inhale, lift up an inch. Exhale, lower to shoulder height. Inhale, lift up an inch. Exhale, lower to shoulder height. Breathing into the tightness and tension. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round forward. Bring your elbows into your belly, drop your head and neck, and enjoy the fanning out of the ribs and the back. Breathing into it with one deep breath here as you're folded over. Exhale, release. Bring your elbows back up to shoulder height. Untangle your arms, press them into the side walls. Pinch the scapula together, enjoy. Exhale, release, and let it melt. And take a moment to notice how good it feels. Wiggling your fingers. Wrap your arms in the opposite direction. Left elbow under right. Wrap your arms around, coming into eagle arms on this side. Inhale those elbows up to shoulder height and pause. Come back to your breath, find it. Inhale, lift up an inch. Exhale, come back to shoulder height. Sending the breath to the pockets of tension and tightness. Remembering that that tension has served a purpose and it's okay to melt it this Saturday morning. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. You can envision it softening 1% by 1%. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, slowly on the exhale, roll forward, feeling the back open up. Vertebrae by vertebrae, rib by rib, intercostal space by intercostal space. That spot below the 12th rib pops open. Sending the breath there, a spot we rarely feel. Huge breath in, opening that whole spot in the back. I think it's your quadratus lumborum, but sending breath to all those muscles that work so hard to keep us upright that we don't notice until we're not well usually. Exhale, breathe it out, appreciating them. Bringing your elbows back up to your shoulders, untangle your arms and lower them down. Shrug your shoulders up, tight, 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 and exhale, release. And take a moment here to notice how you feel. Likely very, very different than when you began. Letting those feel-good hormones circulate around. Noticing if anything doesn't feel good. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And for those of you that are sitting on something, feel free to take it out and we'll stretch our legs long, move the flesh of your seat out of the way with kindness. We're gonna bend our knees gently, engage your core and your belly, tilt that pelvic bowl forward. The ischial spines are connecting deep into the earth. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, totally stable. And exhale, fold towards those toes. And opening up the back and the back of the legs, feeling them awaken, sending the breath into any tight spots. As you round forward, wiggle your toes. Perhaps point them towards the front. Notice how that tiny subtle shift feels really good. Flexing your toes towards your nose and appreciate how that feels. Spread your toes wide in this forward fold and enjoy that. You feel these tiny muscles between your toes that you didn't even know were there. Letting them go and sliding up your shins to your knees, to your thighs. Bring your hands behind you into little cupcakes. Press your fingers into the earth. Root the ischial spines downwards and heart shines forward. Coming into Dandasana, staff pose. Your heels may lift up and your toes will reach towards the sky. Huge breath in. Everything engaged and strong and stable. Noticing all those tiny little muscles working to hold you here. Exhale, release, and relax. Engaging your belly here. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky once again. You're going to interlace your fingers, flip your palms towards the sky, do a little shimmy, reach tall, inhale, slight arch back, and exhale, round forward into a seated cat. You'll notice when you do this with your legs long, you're using different muscles. Inhale, sit up, slight arch back. Notice your back. Exhale, round forward. You really have to use your legs and your tummy here. It's not quite as relaxing as when you're sitting cross-legged. Inhale, reach your palms towards the sky, slight arch back. Using a lot of core here, waking it up, noticing how strong you are and all those tiny muscles that keep you strong and safe and upright. Round forward into cat once again. Press your palms towards your toes, stretching, reaching. Engage your legs and lift your heels up, stretching, reaching the toes towards the sky. Reach your arms back up, relax your legs. Opening your arms out towards the side, and we'll sweep our knees under, coming into hands and knees. Find your knees directly under your hips. Take good care of your wrists, spread your fingers wide, engage your belly. Inhale, arch into cow, and enjoy the cow here. Feels totally different. Front of the belly stretches. Enjoy that. Let it feel delightful. Tiny little pockets, stretching, opening. Heart is shining forward. Let yourself see with your heart like a flashlight. Gaze is forward. Exhale, round, and suck that navel all the way up. The fullest cat you can do. Every muscle fiber stretching. Focusing on it feeling good. Inhale, arch into cow. Enjoy that front of the belly. We rarely feel it. Stick the sit bones up towards the sky. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Your neck is long. Gazing forward. Exhale, round into cat once again. We'll come back to hands and knees. Lower your elbows, coming into puppy pose. Walk your forearms forward and lower your third eye towards the floor. Enjoying the shoulders. Enjoying the release. Your sit bones are reaching towards the sky. Knees are together. Tops of the feet are on the floor. Sending the breath and the energy into your armpits and the scapular area. Allowing it to release and enjoy for a moment. 2 big breaths. Exhale, release. 1 more breath. Bathing every nook and cranny. Sending the breath into the armpits. A place we never send attention to. Most of us. And exhale, release. Walk your elbows back. Coming back up to hands and knees. Find your center. Undo anything in your spine that needs a little attention. We'll walk our hands forward, curl our toes, and come up into downward dog. And allow yourself to enjoy downward dog, especially this first one. Widen your feet if that feels good. Walk the dog if that feels good. Noticing everything in your body that works in concert here to make this happen. Press the palms into the floor, flatten them to protect your wrists. Straighten your elbows, humeral heads into the shoulder sockets. Reach your hips towards the sky, and your forehead's gonna lower towards the floor. Hips are the apex. You'll notice lots of sensations in the back of the legs. Perhaps wiggle your hips if things don't feel quite right. Lifting up onto your tiptoes. Everything engaged. High, high, high. Exhale, lower your heels and enjoy. A big breath here and down dog. And exhale, release. We're going to take 3 more long, deep breaths in down dog. It's a resting pose, but it's also a strengthening pose for your arms and your shoulders. I know some of you have shoulder problems, so be kind. If this doesn't feel good, you can lower to your elbows or come back to hands and knees. 1 more long, deep breath here. Finding your palms in all your fingers. Engage all your fingers. Engage the ball of your right foot. Inhale, raise the left foot towards the sky. Point your toe towards the back wall. 3-legged dog. Everything engaged. Bend that left knee. Stack your hips and roll that left ankle out. Enjoy all of it. One direction and then the other. Sending love to that front of the left hip. Enjoying it. Re-square your hips. Extend your left leg towards the back wall. Huge inhale. Exhale, gently bring your foot between your hands. We're going to come into a high lunge. Do your transition in a way that feels good to you. Find your balance when you arrive. There's no rush here. You can readjust your clothing if you need to, whatever needs to happen. Square your hips towards the front. Your left hip is going to tap back, your right hip forward. Bend that front knee and make sure your left ankle is in front of the left knee when it's bent. And you want to sink in a little bit more. Start with your hands on your hips just to be kind and get yourself balanced and steady. Your back heel is off the floor and your back foot is facing front. It's not on an angle yet. Huge breath in, pouring it down the front of your chest all the way into your belly and your hips here. And exhale, sink in and enjoy the front of that right hip. Releasing after all the sitting that many of you have done this week. Inhale once again. And exhale, sink a little bit lower. If it would feel good, raise your arms up and notice that tiny shift shifts the release in the right hip. Exhale, sink a little bit lower and notice. Bring your right thumb and middle finger to the left wrist and tilt gently to the right. Noticing that little shift, subtle is significant. Coming back to center, release the clasp of your hands, bring your hands to heart center. Huge breath in, exhale, hinge at the waist. We're gonna hook the right elbow around the left thigh. If this doesn't work for you, just stay upright. Coming into a twist. Palms will stay flat, elbows in either direction. As you get here, release that back heel and stretch the calf and enjoy it. Lots of things working here. Embracing the shakes and the wiggles and the wobbles, appreciating how everything in your body is working in concert. And notice that you're strengthening all kinds of tiny little things that help you out immensely in the day that we don't even notice. Continue to breathe. Coming back to center, raising up halfway, and coming up all the way. Hands still at heart center. Straighten your front knee and bend it. Noticing here, this little movement makes a big shift. Press your thumbs into your sternum if you're having trouble with balance. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And once again, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Sending love to that front right hip. Drop your right heel. Cartwheel your arms open into warrior two. Readjust your feet if you need to. Bend that front knee. Make sure your knee is not extending beyond your ankle. Gazes over the left middle finger. And notice your torso should be tall, reaching towards the sky here. Wrap that right inner thigh medially. Engage the back leg. Outer edge of the back foot's rooting into the earth. Huge inhale here. Exhale, sink in a little bit, warrior two. Once again, noticing your whole body working in concert here. Everything engaged, including your belly. Big deep breath in. Exhale, slide the right hand down the right thigh. Reach the left arm over your head gracefully, coming into peaceful warrior. Front ribs fan open. Breathing into every nook and cranny. Part of my purpose this weekend is to open up every little spot in my lungs since I'm having anesthesia on Monday. Taking good care of them. Breathing into every nook and cranny. So many of them don't get popped open in most of our lives. Breathe in and bathe every single one. Exhale, coming back to warrior two. You'll bring your left forearm onto your left thigh. Reach your right arm over your right ear and stretch long as you can. Whole right body lengthening, stretching. Allow yourself to enjoy every nook and cranny. Reach even a little extra, opening up the top of the right hip. And make sure you're not dumping into that left thigh. Lift yourself up. You're using muscles here. Huge breath in. Cartwheel back up to warrior two. Straight that front knee. You'll bring your right hips all the way back, tipping into triangle pose. If you need a block, you can grab it. Left hand's gonna reach all the way forward like the little teapot, dropping it down to your shin, ankle, floor, wherever your body works here. Roll that right shoulder open and gaze upward if it's okay for your neck. If your shoulders and pecs are tight, drop your right hand into the left hip crease, roll that right shoulder over, back, and gaze upward. It should feel really good. And breathe. Never forgetting to breathe. Big deep breath. Exhale, release. Reach your right arm up towards the sky. If it was tucked into the left hip, rising up back into triangle. We're gonna bring both arms forward towards the front of the mat. Pop the back foot out, coming into warrior one. Another strong, strong pose. Huge inhale, reach your fingers tall towards the sky, lengthen your side body. Exhale, sink into warrior one. Your back heel's reaching towards the floor. There's a huge calf stretch here. Your feet are a little wider than they were in warrior two, and your hips are facing forward. Arms are reaching tall, side body lengthening. Huge inhale. Exhale, reach your arms out and reclass them at your sacrum. Shoulders down and back. Press your fists to the floor, releasing the neck. Heart open, chest stretching. Huge breath in. Exhale, drop your chin to chest. Notice how it feels. Tiny movements, big change. Inhale, look up. It may make you a little unsteady, so be careful. Exhale, come back to center. Press your fists towards the core. If any of you wish, take a big inhale. Exhale, come into humble warrior in front. If you want to stay upright, that's fine too. Lower your head to the inner left thigh. Reach those arms all the way forward and enjoy the sensations in the shoulders. There should be lots of them. And lots of wiggles and wobbles. Engage that left outer hip for stability. One more breath here. Slowly rising upright. Press your fists to the floor. Release the shoulders, stretching downward. Release your hands, bringing them into heart center. We're going to shift forward into warrior three if that's fun for you. Do it. If it's not fun, you can stay where you are. But make sure that back foot is getting some movement if you stay. Hop your right foot forward onto the toes. You'll shift your weight into the left foot. Raise your left arm up, coming into whatever version of warrior three is available to you. If you want to bring your arms out like Superman, you can. If you want to bring your hands to heart center to help with balance, you can. And that back leg is going to lift in whatever's good for you today. There may be lots of wiggles and wobbles. Appreciate your body working in concert to do this. And lower your back foot. Reaching your arms up towards the sky. You're going to curl your arms open and turn towards the side of your mat, facing totally aligned with the side of the mat. Bringing your feet into second position if you did ballet. Bringing your hands to your hips, bend your knees, coming into goddess pose. Your knees should be aligned with your toes and you'll bring your hips down, sinking in. Notice if you're folding forward and make your torso straight up and down. Huge inhale and exhale, sink down. If it is okay for you, lift one heel and lower it, and the other heel and lower it. And some of you might want to lift both heels, see how that works, and lower them. You can reach your arms up into a cactus shape. Exhale, drop them down to your waist, pinching your scapula. Inhale, straighten up into a star. Knees straight too. Exhale, bend your elbows down to your waist. Your knees are going to bend, coming all the way down. And inhale, straight up into a star. One more time. This pose actually releases a lot of good neurochemicals as well. Bending your knees. Draw your hips down low and straighten up into a star. Bring your hands to heart center. Bring your hands to your waist. Hinge at the waist, flat back. You're going to fold forward towards the floor. If you can reach the floor, fantastic. If you need a block, you can use that. And you're going to turn your heels so the sides of your feet are parallel to the front and back of your mat. Back is flat. This is a form of an inversion. Some of you, if you don't have high blood pressure, drop your head towards the floor, relax your back and lower down. You can even walk your hands back through your feet and enjoy the release. If you have high blood pressure or your head does not like being down, flat back, and just send some love to the back of the legs. Wherever you are is perfect. For those of you that are between your legs looking back, walk your hands forward. Walk your hands over to that left ankle. Bring your right hand to the left toes and reach your left arm up towards the sky and enjoy it. Lots of sensations here. Bringing that left hand down, and you walk your hands over to the other side. Left hand's going to be by the right big toe. Reach your left arm up towards the sky and enjoy all the sensations in the back of the right leg. Coming back to center. Bend that left knee, and we're going to shift your weight all the way over towards the left foot. Your hands will come towards the left foot, and your right toes will come up in the air. Enjoy the right inner thigh, back of the leg. Point the toe if you can on that right foot. Flex it, sinking in, enjoying letting your leg guide you here. We're going to walk our hands and our weight over to the right foot. Left heel will lift up. Enjoying that. If you have room, you can wiggle your toes, point your toe, flex it. Notice what feels good, and do not overdo it, whatever that is for you. Do what works for you. Coming back to center. Bring your hands to your hips. Your outer edges of both feet are parallel to the front and back of the back. Hips, hands to hips, elbows back. And you'll slowly rise upright. Rising slowly so you are not dizzy. And pause for a moment here. Catching your breath. Taking a moment just to notice how you feel. You may notice shaking in one leg or the other. We're doing more work today than we usually do. Appreciating what we can do. Turn your right toes to the back corner of the mat. You're going to walk that right foot a little bit towards, for me, it's the right side. Hop the left foot towards the left side, reaching up into the high lunge. You can also keep your hands at your waist if you need that to get your balance. Tap your right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale and sink in. Notice if you need to walk your right toes a little bit farther forward, left foot needs to be a little wider. If you're off balance, widen the space between your feet. And keep your hands on your hips. Inhale and exhale, sink in. Send some love to the front of that left hip, thanking it for all its work, helping you sit upright all week. Huge breath in, pouring the breath into every tiny pocket of tension. The tension has been useful, appreciate it, and soften it. On the exhale, sink in. Reach both arms up towards the sky and notice the shift. Enjoy the lengthening of the side body as you reach your fingers towards the sky. Exhale, sink in here. Left thumb and middle finger will grab the right wrist, and you'll tuck gently to the left, noticing that subtle but significant shift. Breathing into every nook and cranny of that left hip flexor. One more breath here and sink in. Release your arms, bringing them to heart center. Inhale, hinge halfway, pause. Exhale, if you wish, hook that left elbow to the right thigh, hands together, coming into a high lunge twist, if that works for you. You can stretch that left calf, make sure you're not dumping into the right thigh. And if this doesn't work for you, just stay upright. One more breath here. Coming back to center, halfway up, all the way up. Press the thumbs into your sternum, straight the front knee, and bend it. You may notice lots of shaking here, just embrace it. Straight the front knee, and bend it. You're sending oxygen and energy to every cell in your body here. Straight the front knee, and bend it. With the bent knee, Drop your left heel, cartwheel your arms open into warrior two on this side. Readjust anything that needs adjusting. Bend that front knee, make sure it's not in front of the right ankle. And cartwheel your arms open in either direction. Gazes over the right middle finger. Huge breath in and exhale, sink in. Torso is reaching towards the sky. Crown of the head is reaching towards the sky. Notice if one arm is lower than the other. If you're jumping, come back to both arms to neutral, unless you have a shoulder issue where you can't do it. Huge breath in. Exhale, left hand's gonna go down the left thigh, right arm reaches over gracefully, right ribs fan open. 3 big breaths. Exhale, cartwheel your arms back to warrior two. Bend the right elbow, bring it to the right thigh, reaching the left arm over. Enjoy that whole left side body from the outer edge of the left foot all the way through the left hand, stretching and sending breath into every tiny alveoli. Flushing it out, creating space, optimizing your lungs. Feels really good, actually. Breathing in like a vacuum cleaner. And exhale, letting it go. Cartwheeling back up to warrior two. Straight your right knee, left hips are gonna come back. We're coming into Trikonasana or triangle pose. Right fingers reach all the way forward, dropping them into Trikonasana or triangle. If you need a block, you can bring it to the inside of the right foot. And for those of you who practice with me regularly, I recommend blocks. And when we're doing gentle yoga towards the end of August, you'll need blocks. So now's a good time to grab some. Reset left hand towards the sky. Left shoulder is rolling back. If you want to bring your left hand into your right hip crease, roll the left shoulder back and gaze upward. That also feels really good. Do what feels good here. One more breath. And rise back up. You will take your left foot, hip, pop it a little bit wider. And you're gonna come to warrior one. Warrior one is a little bit more narrow of a pose, so you may wanna bring your feet a little bit closer. Right toes are jet lining towards the front. Back heel's reaching towards the floor, and your right knee's gonna bend. Take a minute to get your feet in a place that feels good. Huge inhale, and exhale, sink into that right knee. Warrior one. Inhale, lengthen towards the sky, stretch the side bodies, the waist. Exhale, reach your arms out to either side, reclassify your sacrum. Press your fist towards the floor, shoulders down and back, heart open, shines forward. As we say, seeing with your heart. And seeing with your heart is very different than seeing with your eyes, letting your heart lead the way. Letting your heart notice what's happening around you. Huge breath in. Exhale, fold forward. If you want to come into humble warrior, bring your head to the inside of the right thigh. Reach your arms over. Enjoying the release in the shoulders. Send some love to that outer right hip. Everything works here. You will likely have a lot of shaking. For those of you who don't do it regularly. And if you want to stay upright, it's totally fine. Neither's better or worse. If you're down, bring the hands a little farther forward and enjoy that shoulder release. Slowly bring your hands back to your sacrum, coming upright. Take a minute to catch your breath, to let your blood flow shift. You'll release your hands and bring them to heart center. Pop that back foot forward. We're going to shift forward into warrior three. Taking in an inhale and do whatever works for you. Your legs might be tired at this point. If you practice with me regularly, we've done more than usual. So just do what works for you. Point that back toe and flex it. If it needs a little release, you can roll your ankle. Enjoy that. And dropping it back to the floor. To warrior one. You'll lower your hands by your sides and turn towards the sides of the mat. Heel toe your feet together, coming into Tadasana or mountain pose. Taking a moment to enjoy it. Your feet should be hips width. Notice the soles of your feet, all of them. The four corners connecting downward, the arches, lift all 10 toes, lower them down. Draw up the earth's energy to your knees, to your thighs. Tuck your pelvis, draw it into your belly. Stack each vertebrae, heart is light, grow tall all the way through your head. A lot of people say when you do yoga, you can grow an inch or two because you undo the kinks in your spine and you stand up taller. So for those of you who are short like me, yoga is great, reaching tall. And exhale, release, and let your palms open towards the front, shoulders drop. Taking a moment here just to enjoy everything, how it feels. Big breath in and out. Once again, huge breath in and out. Bring a hand to heart and the other hand to top. Checking in with your heart space. Notice if you're judging how you feel at this point in class, if you think you should be doing better, you're having a hard day, sending your body love and appreciation for all that it can do here today in this moment, and allowing yourself to enjoy all the sensations that are there. There may be some that aren't enjoyable, but maybe they are. Noticing they might just be a sign of using something you haven't used in a while. With your hands to heart, lift up all 10 toes, wiggle them, and lower them down into the earth like roots, like trees. And because I spent last weekend practicing in Muir Woods, envisioning your roots going down about a foot and then spreading out like a football field, which is what redwood trees do, connecting to all the other trees. It's a community, and that's where they get their strength to grow so tall. So envision your roots connecting to perhaps all the other people here in this class, perhaps your neighbors, friends, loved ones, colleagues. Envisioning your whole network here with these roots. And letting that feeling just sink in. We have so many connections. Mirroring ourselves like a redwood tree, reaching out towards everyone and using them as a source of strength. Especially when you're going through something, when you need support. Envisioning yourself like these magical Muir Woods redwood trees that rely on each other. What if we could rely on each other much more? And taking a moment to think of all the people in your community that you can rely on, that are there to help, and that actually probably want to help. We often don't want to ask for help. And yet when we do, the other people feel amazing when they help. And so modeling yourself a bit after a redwood tree. Let that vision seep into the heart space. Notice how your heart feels now. Likely softer, more full, more warm, maybe slowing down after that practice. Lowering your hands by your sides, and if your eyes are closed, open them up. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. If you need to, even release your ankles and the bottoms of your feet. If they feel tight, gift them some movement. Noticing that the movement feels good, squeezing your fists, rolling your wrists, rolling your ankles. Coming back to Tadasana, send those roots downward and steady your body. Engaging your knees, thighs, belly, standing tall. Inhale your arms up towards the sky, belly engaged. Exhale, twist to the left. Left arm's gonna reach back, right arm's gonna reach forward. Use your belly here. Inhale, reach tall, turn back to center. Exhale, turn to the right. You want to move slowly and intentionally here, using all of your core, tiny little muscle fibers to protect your back. Inhale, reach your arms up, turn back to center. Exhale, reach to the left. Inhale, reach your arms back up to center.
Twist back to center. Turn to the right, using your belly here, lots of strength. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky. Coming back to center. Interlace your hands, reach down towards the sky. Grow as tall as you can. Shimmy your elbows towards the sky. Maybe even lift up onto your tiptoes, reaching tall, tall, tall. Lower your heels, round your belly, coming into a standing cat. Lots of energy into every nook and cranny. Inhale, reach tall, slight arch back. Use your belly here. Exhale, round. Palms reach forward. Entire back, stretching back, opening up. Inhale, reach tall towards the sky. Exhale your arms out towards the sides. Wrap them in front and give yourself a huge hug. Wiggle your fingers towards the inner edge of your scapula. Lifting your elbows up over your chest with kindness. Lowering them down and squeezing tight. We can release oxytocin by doing this. We so often wait for someone else to give ourselves a hug, but you can give yourself a big hug. Inhale, send the oxygen everywhere. And exhale, squeeze, release oxytocin, let it travel, enjoy it. Bring your chin back to neutral if it's dropped. Untangle your arms, stretch them wide. Take a moment with your arms wide, pinch your scapula together, release. Lift up all 10 toes, send them downward. Engage your belly once again. Send your attention there. And then wrap your arms in the opposite direction, left elbow under right. Give yourself another hug. Reach the fingers as close to the medial edge of the scapula as you can. You'll lift your elbows up over your chest. All of you, it will be in the way somehow. Lifting them up with intention, lowering them down with kindness, and squeezing tight. Giving yourself the best hug ever. Huge breath in. Circulating the oxytocin, and exhale, soften in. You can drop your chin into the cradle of your arms if that feels good. Squeezing tight. Bring your chin back to neutral. Untangle your arms and lower them down. Shrug your shoulders up. Drop the occiput into the shoulders. Shrugged. Squeezing tight. Lots of sensations. Exhale, release. Coming into Tadasana, palms open towards the front. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And just take a moment to notice how you feel. Hopefully stable, stronger, more awake and alive. Lots of tingles. And hopefully some things feel good. Noticing what feels good. Appreciating your body for all those things that it was able to do and coordinate. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Circle your wrists just to release any tightness. Release your ankles once again. We often just grip to hold things, so making sure you're not holding things. And we will transition down to a seat. And I want to come into double pigeon for those of you who can do it. If anyone has trouble with it, you're going to bring your right ankle in front of the left knee. So you're going to cross your knees. You're going to bring your knees as close to shoulder height, hip height as you can. Your right foot is going to be in front of that left knee. You're going to tilt your pelvic bowl forward and align your spine, sitting up as tall as you can. Right ankle is still in front of the left knee, and your left foot is peeking out the right side. Left hand is going to grab the right ankle. You're going to pick up the right ankle and place it on the left knee if you can. For many of you, as you sit up tall right here, this is double pigeon. And you're going to come back to the breath. If you can't put your foot up on your knee, leave it in front. And you walk your hands, you'll place your hands on the floor and stop where it's okay for your knee. If this is not okay for your knees at all, come into a forward fold with your legs extended. I know some of you may have knee issues. Tilt that pelvic bowl forward, root the ischial spines downward, grow tall as you can. Reaching the crown of your head towards the sky. Take a huge inhale, pouring it into the right hip. And exhale, release. If any of you have more room,
You can bring your hands in front of that right shin to the floor and walk them forward, fingertip by fingertip. Hinging at the waist, your back is flat in this one. Wiggle those fingers towards the front, back is flat. Heart is shining forward, and send some love and appreciation to that right hip. We carry a lot of tension in the hips. So in yoga, we approach the hips with specific intention to release some of it. And really it's to soften it. So sending the breath over to that right hip and envision it softening. And as you're here, you'll notice different spots. Sending you messages. Send the breath to each spot that sends you a message. I like to think of them as text messages of spots that need attention rather than pain, or rather than a problem, or rather than my hips are really tight. There's just messages there. They need breath and attention. This poses a big release. And so let whatever's there, don't stuff it in, let it go. Use the breath. Don't hold your breath. Big breath in, pour it into that right hip. And exhale, if you have any more room, wiggle those fingers forward. Drop your head and neck. And release. In whatever position you are, one more breath here. Exhale, let it go. Walk your hands back towards that right shin. You'll untangle everything. Stretch the legs long. Move the flesh of your seat out of the way with kindness. Find your ischial spines. Knees will be bent gently. Inhale, engage the belly. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. And we'll exhale, forward fold into an easy forward fold release to release the kinks and tightness. Wiggle your toes. Point your toes. Flex your ankles. Toes will come towards your knees. Spread your toes wide, 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 wide. Space between each and every one. Relax the toes. Huge inhale. Exhale, fall forward a smidge more. Bend your elbows, drop your head and neck, and enjoy. Sliding up your shins to your knees, to your thighs. And we'll do the opposite side. You're gonna bend cross your legs, bring your knees as close together as you can. Right foot's gonna pop out to the left side. You're going to reach with the right hand, grab the left ankle, and if you have room, place it atop the right knee. You may notice that you're very different on this side. If you need to leave your left foot in front, you will do that and you will hinge at the waist and walk your hands forward. You'll notice a release there and do not overdo it. If this hurts your knees, you don't want to do it. So for those of you whose foot is atop the right knee, attend to your pelvis. Tilt that pelvic bowl anteriorly. Inhale, grow your spine. Each vertebrae aligned one atop the other, all the way through the crown of your head. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, grow tall. As you grow tall, you'll notice some sensations in that left hip. Exhale, blow it out. Bring your hands to the floor in front of you if you have room. You'll just send some love and attention and breath to that left hip. You may have less room on this side, more room on this side, no judgment, just do whatever works for you. Breathing in and out. Walking your hands forward if you have more room. Noticing any messages. If you need to distract yourself, spread all 10 fingers wide. Notice if you can make equal pie shapes. Notice the sensations of the floor or carpet under your hands. And come back to the breath. Sending it to the hip and release. One more breath. If you want to drop your head and neck and release everything, you can. Walk your hands back to your shins. Untangle, stretch your legs long. Come into an easy forward fold again in whatever way feels good to you, reaching tall and release forward. Wiggle the toes, undo things. You can roll your ankles if you need.
And when you're ready, you'll come up to a seat. Your arms will be parallel to your legs, and you'll roll down to line down on the mat, all the way down flat till you arrive. And take a moment to arrive. Notice how it feels down here. Notice the earth holding you. Notice body parts that might feel tired. Let them relax. Pour the breath into every nook and cranny as you relax here. Exhale, release. Bend your knees, walk your heels towards your rear end, palms will face towards the floor. Lift up your hips and reach your hips skyward, coming into an easy bridge just to release the back body. Knees will connect together, hips will reach towards the sky. Shimmy your shoulders underneath you, grab the mat, tug it towards your heels. Breathe into every nook and cranny of the lungs here. Notice your heart light. Notice it filling fully. Allowing it to soften and relax. Hips reach towards the sky. Exhale, release your hands, untuck your shoulders, lower your hips towards the floor. Hug your knees in towards you. Nice release. Hands on the shins, massage your sacrum. Have a really fun rock all the way to one side and the other. If you want to come into happy baby, enjoy that. Hands on the outer edges of your feet. Soles of the feet reach towards the skies. Knees reach towards the floor. Inner thighs open up. Have a rock here too, because it's fun. You'll enjoy different parts of your sacrum being massaged, all those muscles in the back. Bring the soles of your feet together if you're in happy baby. Bring your heels towards your groin. Enjoy the inner thigh release. Release your hands and lower your feet towards the floor, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. Knees apart, toes together. If you have blocks and you want to pop them under your knees, it will feel luxurious. Left hand to heart, right hand to belly. Come back to the breath. 3 big breaths here. Breathing every nook and cranny, allowing your heart to slow. Noticing all the amazing feelings that are here in this moment. Notice what feels good. And notice those pockets of tension that you noticed in the beginning. Are they still there? If anything is still there, send the breath and soften 1% more. Inhale, notice your chest and belly fill with breath. Exhale, belly softens, flattens, chest lowers. One more big breath all the way into your belly. Exhale, release. The belly lowers, chest releases, hands lower. Bring your hands to your outer thighs. Draw your knees together. Wiggle your feet to the outer edge of the mat. You're going to raise your arms over you in an easy cactus shape if your shoulders are okay with that. T shape if they are not, or by your sides if they're not. Take a big inhale. Drop your knees to the right. Left knee is going to reach towards the right front corner. Left psoas will pop open. Send a breath or two there. Pouring it through the left side body. Enjoy it. All the way to the knee, all the way out through that right front corner of the mat. Exhale. One more breath here. Sending some love to your armpits again too. So lots of important things there. Bring your knees back to center. Even out your sacrum if it's wonky. Even out your shoulders. Big inhale. Exhale, drop your knees to the left. Right knee is going to point towards the front left corner. Right psoas will pop. Sending love and breath and kindness through the whole right side body. Every nook and cranny. Bathing it with breath. One more. Nourishing breath. Taking good care of every cell. In all these tiny pockets that we ignore so often, bathing each and every one, all the way down to the very 12th rib, bottom alveoli, the armpits, the right psoas deep tucked back into that pelvis area. Exhale, release. Draw your knees back to center, hips squared. Bring your arms down by your sides, and you'll extend your legs long, coming into Shavasana in whatever way feels good to you. If you need a bolster under your knees or you need to keep your knees bent, do that. Take a moment to untuck your shoulders and get comfy. Have a note, take the time to be comfortable. Allow your toes to fall towards the outer corners, palms open towards the sky. Huge breath in. And on the exhale, allow yourself to sink in and let the earth hold you. Let go, control the breath. And allow yourself to relax. Let go. And fully enjoy for a few moments here. If you want to stay in Shavasana longer, please do. For those of you that are ready to come out, gently deepen your breath. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. If it would feel good, take a big deep inhale. Stretch your arms long above you, toes long above you, like you're waking up from a long winter's nap. Huge breath in, stretching long in either direction, filling every nook and cranny with breath. Exhale, release, relax. Draw your knees into your chest and roll over to one side, any side that feels good. And pause there for a moment, noticing how you feel. Appreciating and acknowledging yourself for taking the time to practice. Appreciating your body for all that it is able to do, all that works, and all the coordination it takes to work your body to work together. Sending some gratitude for the amazingness of the human body. And when you're ready, press into your hands and come up to a comfy seat. You'll find your ischial spines once again and send them down into the earth, feeling stable, centered, settled, and strong. Engaging your belly, tilt it forward. Grow your spine tall and long, reach the crown of your head towards the sky. Hands lightly on your thighs. Take a big inhale and exhale. Bring a hand to heart and another hand to top, checking in with that heart space. Sending yourself a little more oxytocin, because why not? Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. May you all be well. May you all be safe. May you all be loved. And may you enjoy what feels good today. Namaste.